Hello, and welcome to another Monday live stream. Today, I'm going to be talking about how you generate leads from LinkedIn. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and I train businesses how to generate new customers by using social media, but doing it in the right way. And today, we're going to be sharing 6 areas that you need to address when you're thinking about generating new business leads, new clients from LinkedIn. So I'm just going to share some of those tips with you. If you are watching this live, please do say hello in the chat, give us a wave, introduce yourselves, tell us who you are. I'd love to know who's watching today. Do ask me any questions as well as we're going along. And if you're watching this on catch up, ask me any questions in the comments below afterwards and I'll come back to them. Oh, hi, Amanda. Thanks for saying hello. Hello. Amanda's from Redwood Copy. She's a great copywriter for those that don't know her. Thank you for saying hi. Oh, hi, Chris. Chris is here from Chatbot Labs. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Saw you this morning as well on the Business Exchange. That was good. Oh, hi, Michelle. There's loads of people saying hello. I do like it when people say hello. Hi, Michelle. She's Michelle's from JFH Horticulture. Hello. Oh, we've got Gary as well. Hi, Gary. Nice to see you. Thanks, everybody, for saying hello. Makes me feel a lot less lonely. Okay, right then. So moving on, let's think about these, how we're generating leads from LinkedIn. Well, the first thing that we need to consider is that LinkedIn, if we're looking to generate leads on LinkedIn, we need to have our marketing head on. Now, the thing is when most people join LinkedIn, they think about how, most people join when they're looking for a job or things like that. But now we need to be thinking about how we actually use LinkedIn to generate new leads. How do we transform this profile? So again, I'm going to run through some quick tips. I've actually got a really good tool right at the end of this video, which is going to give you your score on how good you are at marketing and selling on LinkedIn. So stay to the end and I'll show you how to get your score for free, which from LinkedIn. Right, okay. So we need to think about, first of all, your profile. Now, last week, if you look at last week, I shared some tips on how to transform your profile. I want you to have a look at your profile, look at it and go, okay, so if someone who didn't know me, never heard of me, if they looked at your profile and just talking the top bit, the banner, your image, your headline, what would they understand what you actually did? What most of us do is tend to fall into writing it like a CV because that's how we first joined LinkedIn. And unfortunately, it doesn't really tell us, doesn't really market our services, our products to our potential customers. So we need to write your profile in a completely different way, okay? And again, have a look at the video from last week where I share you loads of tips on that, okay? One of them was the headline. So underneath your headline, a lot of people fall into the trap of just putting their job description on there, okay? That's absolutely no use if you're looking for new leads, if you're looking for new business, if you're looking for new clients. You need to rewrite that little headline to really talk about the services and products that you provide and how you can help your potential customer. Nobody's really bothered about what job you have unless they're looking to recruit, okay? They want to know how you can help them, how you can make their lives easier, how you can improve their business lives, okay? So think about that. Now, the second tip then is that people forget is that we're using LinkedIn, our LinkedIn personal profiles as a marketing tool now. So we need to post content. And a lot of the people who join LinkedIn, they make this amazing profile, get an amazing LinkedIn profile, but then they don't post. And unfortunately, you've got to do a whole plethora of activity on LinkedIn to get ranking high on LinkedIn, okay? You've got to do a number of things. And again, I'll show you the tool that LinkedIn measures you against at the end of this video. So you've got to use lots and lots of tools within LinkedIn, and one of that is the content and the posting. only about 2 to 3% of people, active people on LinkedIn, actually post content. So if you start posting content, you're going to get seen, okay? You're going to get seen. And not only are you going to get seen by potential customers, but LinkedIn's going to give you lots of brownie points and help you rank higher in those searches. So you've got to post content. But I don't mean posting loads of sales content, because nobody wants to be sold to, okay? If they're looking to buy, they're going to go on Google. LinkedIn is a completely different strategy, okay? So think about that content. How are you adding value on LinkedIn, okay? So the third one then, the third one that people forget is your connections, okay? There's no point creating lots of fantastic content if you haven't got very many connections to showcase it to, okay? So we've created a fantastic LinkedIn profile. Yeah, we're creating brilliant content, but if we haven't got connections to showcase that content to, then it's a bit pointless. It's a bit of a waste of time. But you've got to make sure they're the right connections, okay? So we're not connecting with all and sundry. We're not connecting with loads of different people. You really want to think about who is it you want to do business with, and you want to start connecting with people like that. You can connect with people you don't know. That's absolutely fine, and that's very acceptable on LinkedIn. Connect with people who you don't know, but are your potential target market. And you'll find that the majority of people will accept that connection request. So you need to start growing your connections in the right area, okay? So Michelle's asked, do people have to like your content to get seen more? So that's a great question. So that depends really. The way content works is if you post a piece of content and it just will go to a fraction of the people who you connected with, basically your followers, okay? So when people connect with you, they automatically follow you and can potentially see your content. But LinkedIn does not send every post to all of your connections, okay? Only around about 8%, it depends how many connections you've got, maybe about 8% will actually have the opportunity to see your content in their newsfeed, okay? So you will get seen by a few people. However, if you want to get your content seen more, then yes, absolutely, Michelle, you need to have lots of likes, you need to have lots of comments, and then LinkedIn will identify that piece of content as a really popular piece of content and will share it to more and more of your followers, because LinkedIn is monitoring that post after it's been posted to see the engagement on it. So posts with the most engagement will be shared with more people, will be shared with more people, and if those people comment, it'll be shared with even more people. And that's how you get viral posts on LinkedIn. So yeah, great question. Okay, so that's on your content and but your connections. So that's why we need to be growing our connections, because even if you've got 500 connections, you can guarantee they're not all going to see your content, okay? So you've got to grow your connections, but grow them in the right place. There's no point creating content if it goes to the wrong people. So say if you've got quite a few connections, I don't know, maybe in France, and you don't really, ship out to France, but you just have a few business connections there, but they're kind of irrelevant really. Maybe they were from your previous job. Then really, that's kind of a waste of your content. Your content is beginning to go to the wrong people, okay? So really do think about who you are connected to. You want to make sure that content is going to the right people, okay? Right then, so grow those connections and accept connection requests. Now, I don't accept all connection requests. I used to when I went on LinkedIn. So I had connection requests a lot coming from India, I'll be honest. Had a lot of connection requests from India. To begin with, I used to accept those, but actually now I do actually just decline those, because I've never had any business from anyone from India. They never engage on my content, so it's not of any value. And actually the reason why they were connecting with me was so that they could access potential clients in my connections. Okay, so again, it's not just India, it's other countries, you know, other people, and you know, people in the UK just connect with you because they want access to your connections to see what's going on and potentially have a look at what you're doing. So again, really think about when you're accepting connection requests, is it going to add value to you? Now, one of the areas of value is if they've got a large following, then absolutely, you know, if they've got a large following, then potentially your content, your profile is going to be seen to more people because you can jump on the back of their large following. However, I do find that people who connect with you that have a small following sometimes are the most valuable, because if they've only got a small number of connections, then actually when you do post content, they're much more likely to see your content. Okay, if you accept a connection request from someone who's got, I don't know, 20,000 followers, 20,000 connections, brilliant. But what you've got to understand is that person is very unlikely to see your content. Okay, so you need a different engagement strategy. So really have a think about who you're connecting with and what your strategy is. And again, I'm going to be running through all this on, I've got a workshop running next week on LinkedIn. It's all online. And again, if you want, I'm going to be running through all this in a lot more detail. Okay, so that's online next week. I'll put the details in the link, details in the chat shortly. Okay, so that's your connections then. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kate from Fox Graphics. Thank you for that. Any comments as well? Oh, there's another question. Jenny's asked, does a post with an image get more traction than a post without? So that's actually a great question. Depends on the image, obviously. Is it eye-catching? But actually, text-only posts work really well on LinkedIn. Text-only posts work phenomenally well on LinkedIn if you word it in the right way. Okay, and again, I could do a whole hour on structuring your content. Again, that's one of the modules we're going to be covering next week on the online workshop. So I'm not going to go into it a huge amount of detail. But yes, images, if they're the right image, if they're eye-catching, but text-only posts work just as well, and in some instances better. Okay. Oh, thanks, Chris. Chris says, Hannah recommends my LinkedIn course. It's ace and in wonderful bite-sized format. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. I promise these are not staged. Thank you. Yeah, we do an hour a day on LinkedIn. So that's next week, an hour a day online on LinkedIn. Okay. So Kate said she's doing well on video, professional on her own. Yeah, video works really well if you're brave enough. Yeah. So if you're brave enough to do video, video does work really well on LinkedIn. And hopefully we'll be getting live. Some of you might have been able to do live video soon as well. That's been rolled out from America, and live video. We'll all at some point be able to do that. When live goes live, do it, okay? Because it's a new tool and Facebook will push it out, okay? Right then. So we've talked about your profile looking fantastic. Again, check my video out from last week on that one. We've talked about getting the right connections, and we've talked about content. So the other sort of tip that I want to share about how we generate leads from LinkedIn is, who is your ideal client? Okay, we can't talk to everybody. This is marketing. You know, we don't have £1 billion budget. We cannot try and market to the world. So you've really got to think about who exactly you want to work with, or who your products and services are targeted at. And you need to be writing your profile, your content, thinking about your strategy with those people in mind. Think about how you can help them and showcase that through LinkedIn, okay? Really put yourselves into your customer's shoes and think, if I was them, what would attract me to my content, to my services, to whatever products that we've got available. Okay, so for me, in fact, you know, Chris has mentioned it earlier. For me, one of my sort of unique selling points is that I always work with people. We do little bits at a time. We implement little bits of training at a time, and break it down so that it's easier for people to digest. So that you're not given 3 hours worth of training that just goes woof, and you may remember 3 or 4 points, but ultimately you're going to go away with loads of homework to do, and half the time it doesn't get implemented. Whereas my online courses, my workshops, I break it down. We do it in small bite-sized steps. We do it slowly. So I need to get that across onto my LinkedIn content, into my profile, that information, because it's really valuable. Okay, because I'm focusing sort of busy business owners. So think about what's unique to your product. You know, how can you stand out and how can you talk to your ideal customer to tell them you know the struggles they've got, to tell them that you know your services can help. Half the time, they may not even know this sort of service exists. So you're actually doing them a favour, okay? Kate says she practices doing lives on Facebook, so you're relaxed on LinkedIn. Yeah, you can practice doing lives on Facebook if you like. On your personal profile, is that what you meant, Kate? On your business profile. But yeah, you could practice maybe on your personal profile. Yeah, that's a good point. Leanne said, Leanne from McDonald Manchester Hotel. Oh, hi Leanne. Hope you're doing well. Nice to hear from you. Do you have any hints and tips on the message to send to new connections, please? Oh, well, yes. There's a whole strategy around how you message people. And I think that's a really good point. And that moves into my next point, actually. And that is about being yourself, okay? You've got to be really careful with these messages. And again, I'll be covering that next week on the LinkedIn workshop. You've got to be very, very careful, because if you're not careful, you'll just end up sales spamming people. The worst thing you can do, for example, top tip here, is offer to connect with someone and then straight away go in and message them with a sales pitch. If I get that, I immediately unfollow them. Still connected, but I unfollow them, okay? So I'm not going to see their content, and I ignore them, because I've got about just short of 7,000 connections now. I get a lot of sales messages. I haven't got time to go through them. I am not bothered. Not bothered with people who I don't know. I want to work with people I do know. I want to work with people who I trust. Yeah, this goes for your customers. Customers want to work with people they know, like, and trust. So really have a think about, before you message them, do they actually know you? Are they likely to respond? Have they heard of you? Okay. So Fox says, Kate from Fox Graphics says she ignores them too. She finds it a bit rude. And I think, unfortunately, that's the way of the world at the moment on LinkedIn. Lots of people are really active on LinkedIn, particularly over the last 12 months. You can get messages, you can send them out to all your connections. But if they're not personalized, really, is it going to work? That's what you've got to ask. Okay, so really be yourself. This includes your content. This is why I do a lot of live videos. It's showing who you are as a person, showing who the people are from behind the businesses. Remember, people don't necessarily buy from a business. Not always, particularly smaller businesses. They're more likely to buy from a business because they know the business owners, they know the staff, they know the receptionists, they know the people that work behind the business, they know the sales team. So then 9 times out of 10, they're buying from those people. They're not buying because of the business name, okay? So really showcase your personality, who the team is, and just really be yourself. LinkedIn is a formal platform, it's professional, but it still doesn't mean you can't be relaxed and have a bit of fun. It is becoming more of a sociable platform and more of an informal platform as well, and it is very widely accepted. Obviously, don't share what you're having for your lunch. I know I always tell you to let me know what butties you're having here whilst you're watching, but yeah, don't share what you're having for your lunch. It's different to Facebook, but absolutely don't go too sort of corporate on there, because people switch off. People are people at the end of the day. Okay, so my next top tip then, it's my final top tip before I'm going to show you this really good tool to measure your social selling on LinkedIn. The final top tip is basically do log on regularly. Log on regularly, spend 10 minutes a day just on LinkedIn, going through, engaging. Yeah, get people to know you. You're writing content, other people are writing content, engage with it, okay? Don't just post and run. That's not going to work, okay? May work to a small amount, but you have much more success if you go on there and engage with people. So really go on and engage with people for 10 minutes a day. I certainly, during the week, make sure I log on to LinkedIn for 10 minutes a day, whether that's to write a quick post, whether it's to like some comments, like some posts, to write some comments, engage, connect with more people. But basically, I'm networking. I'm using it as a network. Think of networking. That's what it's there for. It's there to network. Oh, hi, Esther. Nice to see you. Hello today. Or there's lots of people saying hello today, so thank you. Okay, so you've got to be active. LinkedIn knows if you're logging on every day, it's monitoring you. It knows if you're liking other people's posts, if you're sharing, if you're commenting on people's posts. LinkedIn knows, okay? And it's monitoring your every move. So really, you know, you've got to be very careful. And because LinkedIn's monitoring your every move, it gives you a score, okay? And I'm going to show you how to get your score in a second. It gives you a score. And depending how highly you score, it's going to rank you higher in the LinkedIn searches. So the higher you can get your score, the higher the visibility you're going to get on LinkedIn as well. And again, next week, I'm going to show you how to address all these issues in detail. I'm going to work with you to implement them. And I'm going to show you how to increase this really, really valuable score. So I'm just going to copy. I have actually only got 7 places. I just realized I've only got 7 places left on this course. So I'm just going to put the link in the chat. So if you are interested, please do come along. We're doing an hour a day over 4 days. We look at, we transform your profile over the week. We look at your content. I teach you the content strategy that's going to get high reach. Look at connections. And I also teach you a strategy to generate leads and to build up that and target those key customers you want to work with. So if you are interested, do come on. It's only £99 for all 4 sessions, but it is limited to 10 people. So do come along to that. We have had some brilliant successes recently as well from some of my clients who've literally after 3 weeks got business out of through following this strategy. Okay, so come along to that workshop if this has been really useful. But also now I just want to show you how to get your score on LinkedIn. So how do we know what score we've got? So I'm just going to share my screen with you. Let's move this on. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, right. So here we have, this is what's called LinkedIn's social selling index. Okay, so this is me proving to you that LinkedIn is identifying and watching every move. So here we've got get your score for free. And again, I'll put the link in the comments in a minute so that you've got that link. But basically, it's just business.linkedin.com and it's sales solutions. If you just type into Google LinkedIn SSI, it'll come up. You want this screen here, and then all you do is you just click this button here, get your score for free. Okay, so I'm just going to click this. And this, as long as you logged on to LinkedIn when you do this, this is going to give you your LinkedIn score. Okay, so basically here, this is my score. You can see here because it's got me there. It's directly linked to my profile and it's giving me a score. So it's basically saying that I rank in my industry. So my industry is sort of marketing, digital marketing. That's what I'm down on as LinkedIn. So again, make sure you're down as the right sector. So I rank in the top 1% for LinkedIn. Whew, that's good job, really, as I'm a LinkedIn trainer. So yeah, so I rank in the top 1%. And in my network, so everyone who I'm connected with, I'm connected to about 7,000 people. In my whole network, I rank in the top 2%. So again, have a look. This is going to automatically generate it. And again, it's a free tool, is this. This tells me here, just then breaks down, I score 75 out of 100. Now, I don't think I've ever seen anyone score more than 83 on this. So if anyone has, please do. I'd love to see it. Leave your note in the comments. But basically, it just goes through and it just says how good you are at establishing yourself as a professional brand, how good you are at finding the right people. So how do you use those searches? Okay, again, my searches, that's a bit lower for me because I'm constantly working with different clients to search for different sectors and demonstrate how to do different searches. So mine's a little bit lower because I do a lot of demonstrations. Okay. How do we engage with insights? Okay, so how do you engage with those insights? That's that data. Do you look at your data? And how good are you at building relationships? So Kate's just said she's just done hers and it's 78. Brilliant, well done, Kate. It's all those videos you've been doing, they've definitely been working. That's really good. So again, get your score here. Again, and then benchmark you with people in your industry. So generally speaking, people in my industry rank about, on average, 27 out of 100. Okay, which you think would be quite low, really, for digital marketing. We should really be demonstrating and highlighting and showcasing how to do things correctly. So mine's pretty high in comparison to the rest of my sector. But people in my network, so everyone who I'm connected with, generally speaking, rank at 45 out of 100. So have a look. I'll put the, let me just put the link in the comments now. Have a look and tell me what your score is, okay? Because if it is quite low, then completely shameless plug, then you need to come along to my LinkedIn workshop. Oh, Gary says he's got 71% with 1% on the top left and 5% on top right. Well done, Gary. Gary's been to my LinkedIn workshop. You've been doing your homework, Gary. Well done. So do have a look at that. And again, you know, if your score is quite low, I can help you get it higher, because if your score's quite low, you can guarantee you're not really getting seen on LinkedIn. You're not going to be generating new business, okay? So again, if you can't make my workshop, I do work with businesses on a one-to-one basis as well. So do get in touch. I can help you. I can help your teams. I work with a lot of sales teams nationally to help with visibility. Gary says, thank you, Bex. Taught by the best. You're welcome. So yes, do get in touch. The workshop is next week. Do come along to that. I do have spaces left on that workshop. If you can't come along to the workshop, then just get in touch. I can help you. I work with most of my clients I work with on a one-to-one basis. So do come along to that as well. Okay, so thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do give me a thumbs up, because as on LinkedIn, if you give me a thumbs up and a comment on my YouTube, Facebook videos, then they rank higher as well. So yeah, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions about LinkedIn and you're watching this video on catch up, then please do post them in the comments and I will get back to you later. And if you've done your score, post them in. I'd love to know what you scored. So thank you everybody today for watching. Thanks for all the interaction. It's been great today. It's been lovely to see everybody. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Join me next week. Next week, I've got Aaron Chetwin in from Insight 6. I'm quite excited. Got a guest next week. And basically, we're going to be talking about, Aaron's going to be sharing his top tips on how to use customer feedback to really supercharge your social media. So join me next week. Same place, same time. And don't forget your butties. Right, thanks guys. I'll see you all later. Bye.